on it. You know what I mean?
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of Cop Talk. I must say apologies first and foremost for us being a bit late today, but that's due to a few technical issues and also some celebration issues as well ongoing as we booked ourselves another trip to Wembley. It's like, I don't even know why I'm celebrating. It's like the norm now anyway. You know, we should be used to it by now. Do you know what I mean? It's what we do, man. It is what we do. So we're going to say good evening and a nice welcome to a long-time guest of ours, Jimmy, my old son. Nice to have you back on board.
Nice to be here, my friend.
Yes, nice to have you back on board. And a guy who does a great filling for us, great knowledge on the game as well. The man himself, he's always watching us. If he can't be here, he's always watching us. Mr. VW himself. How we doing?
Evening, gentlemen. Hope everyone's all well.
See, Jim and Vinny, you've now made well, Vinny especially, you've made Preds look good now because now it looks like he's on time for once.
The amount of drama these are giving me, boy.
It's worked out well for you, I must say. And we are going to quickly say good evening to all those in the chat room so far. So big shouts goes out to Solo from the Man United Agenda. Big shouts goes out to you. Big shout goes out to Des B. That's right, get in there. And you're right, you'll never walk alone. Fitzwarren, Brighton, nice to have you on board, sir. Mark Foster, what we say? Wembley. And the king of the one-liners himself, Mr. CW, good evening. Big shout to you, mate. We're back for a defense of our title. I'll tell you, I'm loving that, loving life. So first off, we've got two games to talk about, so we're going to quickly, I have to skim over that other game because right now, tonight was the one for me, so we are going to talk about it quickly. But Bournemouth, away to Bournemouth, and I know there was a lot of ooming and ahhing and everyone saying, you know what, this is going to be a difficult one. I even thought it would be a tough test myself. What did you guys make of the game?
New boys. It's like new boys. No, you know what? I'm going to let the new lads get in there. Go on.
All right. Well, they're not technically new. Jimmy was here before.
They're not. Yeah,
I was about to say, I've been here since God was a boy, so I'm not new. You go ahead, man. Go ahead, Fred. Go on. I've been here a while.
Hey, forgive me a mispronunciation. I do apologise. 1,000 apologies.
Now, what did you guys make of the game?
I think, you know what, it was just a professional performance. We went there. It could have been different because they hit the post early, in the game as well. They hit their post and twice. But I think overall we controlled it. They're a difficult team to play because they just keep running and they keep going at you, And I don't think there's probably one of the games that we didn't have too much control. We had control, but not as much control as we normally have. And that was down to the way Bournemouth played. But you know what? Teams in our position at the moment, we have to go to those difficult places and we have to come away and we have to perform, compete, which we have done, and when the chance comes, we take those chances. And it was pleasing that we could pleasing as well that Ali made an absolutely stunning save, and we came away with a clean sheet. Fantastic result.
Yeah, I think, you know, just to follow on from what you said, I mean, I totally agree. The actual word was professional. We went there with a professional agenda. You know, we had to do the job and get out there because, I mean, as we all know in football, it's not always the actual Man Cities of this world. It is the Bournemouths and the Brightons. If you're going to win the title, they're the ones you got to go to because you're actually going to be up for the big boys, aren't you? You're always going to be up. But those other teams who are not, they're the ones that will be waiting for you. Nottingham Forest, they're the ones that are going to be hanging around waiting for you. So I think when we went there, you know what I mean, we had to do a professional job, and we did. That was all I asked for. I wasn't looking to batter them 50-0 or whatever. I was like, go there, win, get the 3 points, and go home, and get no injuries, and that's what we did. So yeah,
amen to that. So VW,
Yeah, echo the sentiments of everyone else. Just a solid professional performance. You know, like we said, a game which could have been very, very tricky. I was worried about it going into the game because of how Bournemouth have been playing really, really well. Um, really good outfit, but you know, we went there an away game as well, got the job done. So yeah, happy to crack on, mate. 3 more points.
Okay, so people are saying, a lot of people are coming and saying that in that game we rode our luck because I think it was 3 times they hit the woodwork, if I remember rightly. So people are saying, yeah, but you lot rode your luck, man. 3 times they hit the woodwork. But like Pred said, you have to take your chances when they're there. You know what I mean? Take your chances. Do you not feel that we rode our luck?
I don't
I
think
think.
so.
Come on, mate. After you, mate.
No, I was just literally I was just about to say I don't think so. I think that's a bit of an overused cliche. I think that if you ride your luck, I think it normally means that you were lucky. You went there and you didn't play greatly and you were lucky. I don't think we rode our luck. I think we made our luck, quite frankly. We made chances to go in there. And, you know, as I said, it was professional. If you're professional, you're not lucky if you're professional. You know, you go there, you do the job, you do what you have to do. But I think, you know, I think it's one of those things when people start saying you rode your luck, I'm like, we made our luck, bro. And then we put our chances away. Simple as that. That's my thing anyway.
Okay. Go on, Pres.
Yeah,
I think
sorry,
it's just. I'm probably going to contradict Jimmy in regards to. I think sometimes when you are going for championships and and you play these games, sometimes you can't rule out a little bit of luck. And you've got to be honest. If the first time they hit the post, I think it hit the outside of the post,
Yeah.
and it came back out. I mean, if that goes in, it could possibly be a different game. However, it's hit the bar by luck or by whatever it's done. It's hit the bar, it's hit the post. They got scored, and then we've gone down the other end, got a penalty, dropped down. So I think end of the day, that's what the 3 white posts are for. You know, and they're all part of the goalkeeping, the armory, and I think it was a great save.
Between those,
you need to get it in between, exactly. Yeah. And look, you know what? In all fairness, it's Bournemouth's issue. They didn't. It's Bournemouth's issue. They came. They should have taken the chances. They didn't. We did.
Yeah.
Like gentlemen, like the lads have said, we've got the points. We wrapped it up and we kept it moving.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very. You know, last season we would have been the team who were hitting the post and the bar and stuff like that with our chances and not taking our chances. This year, it's happening in reverse. You know what I mean? We've got the rub of the green there, and it's worked out for us. But you know what? I think when you've got to the position that we are now, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you earn your luck as well. Do you get what I mean? You know, we're playing consistently well. We may not be playing consistently great, which may be another a conversation for another day. But we are putting in solid performances without, and maybe I'm wrong to say this, maybe you guys might think differently, without always looking outstanding.
No, I agree.
But looking strong. Do you know what I mean? It's very measured.
I agree. Okay.
Sorry. Can I just come into that? And I just wanted to just say, yeah, I totally agree. I've been in that game, I think in particular, just to agree with what you're saying, a couple others. We haven't been great. I haven't watched this and thought, damn, we're brilliant, but we've just got the job done. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we haven't been, I don't know, the Manchester City of past that literally just blew everybody away. Of course, we've had the odd great game, but I think you're actually right there in that we've actually done what we need to do, and we've been good, but not necessarily great yet. And it's the yet I want to put in there.
CW says Preds looks more fresh than last week. Looks like he watched the game this time. I'll take it early morning run. Yeah.
I don't know about the early morning run, but the trim, you're right.
I said Preds is the new one in it because last week it wasn't Preds. And Mark wants to know what's in the air fryer tonight.
It's Fajita Thursday tonight, so yeah, I'm going to be hitting up. Yeah, going to be sorting out the fajitas later.
Bournemouth was a statement win. Everyone apart from Liverpool fans expected us to drop points.
Mm.
I mean, I think, regards to that, Bournemouth have been on they've been on a run. You know what I mean? And they're badding people up. Like they're beating some really good teams out there, and they're not doing it by
They
luck.
had a little blip though in that run. They lost to somebody.
Yeah, that's somebody. But then they got.
Was it Fulham or someone?
Was it Forest? One of those teams got battered and then battered someone else the other week.
They got a slapping.
Yeah.
They did. Yes. They did get a slap.
I mean, yeah, but overall, though, I mean, like the position they're in at the table at the moment, they've not got there by luck. They've got there by winning games. And I think, yeah, people were all Liverpool. I couldn't say all. I wasn't apprehensive. I always am confident that we're going to win the game. It was just a case of, well, you know what, Bournemouth are one of those, like Jimmy said, one of those teams that it could be a potential banana skin. And previously, we've always found it difficult against those sort of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with our performances now, it's where it's more controlled. We're controlling it a little bit more rather than being a basketball game. But it was actually quite open. This is one of the most open games that I thought that Liverpool played in because of Bournemouth.
And Desby agrees with us. He says Bournemouth a professional performance. Definitely. Go on, Vinny.
Yeah. Sorry, not to go off topic, right? But do you think that, in particular this season, what's being highlighted in the league, right? It's like it doesn't matter how big your club is or what kind of quote unquote big name players you're meant to have. That's all kind of irrelevant. It's almost like getting the right players, good coaches, and you're seeing the results. Look at Forest, look at Bournemouth, look at Newcastle, look at Brighton. You know what I mean? Look at Fulham. I'm not saying all these teams are going to be finishing in the top four or be vying for major trophies every season, year in, year out. But you are definitely seeing I think a change in this league. It might be a one-off for the season, you never know. But it's like people getting right clubs, getting the right structures in, getting the right players in, right coaches, being able to coach and support, develop their players. And you're seeing the results where, as Man United, spending all the big money, not necessarily worked. Spurs, it's not necessarily working. You get what I mean? I just find it quite interesting.
Very true. So Mark says we all need a little luck now and again. Evening, Creds. Nice to have you on board, sir. Once we hit that fourth and fifth gear, I feel sorry for teams. And Isaac James goes on to say, Forest, Bournemouth this season are a prime example of what Vinny's saying. And he also goes at Brighton and Newcastle, the others as well. Further to what Vinny's saying, and I've been saying this as well, if you've been watching Cop Talk Peoples, I've been saying this. Teams like that are a lot harder to play against because it's a whole team. Whereas them teams, you've got that one-star player, that two-star. If that player's not performing, then normally that team's dead. They rely on that guy. Or that guy's not scoring, then that guy's dead. When you've got a team that gel together like that, that's when you've got a problem. And I think I don't think it's a one-season thing, Vinny. I think it's going to continue. I think they're seeing now. They're not going for these big name managers. You've got these other guys who are tactically aware, and they're building a side to a budget, and they're making this work. And I think you're going to see a lot more of it now. And I think they're also going to be going on to higher jobs, especially someone like Areola. I think someone's definitely going to come in for him. he might be Spurs actually next. After it might be them next, or even Arteta could be replacing Arteta. You never know. But I definitely believe that you're going to see a lot more of them. 100%. Okay. Cred says, therefore, what the beta team is on the day. Our team has it on a lot of levels. So, why was it then that we managed to get past a team like Bournemouth, who've been freely scoring against other teams? Kluivert, how do we manage to keep Kluivert? Because that's the quietest I've seen him. in about 7 games. He's in my dream team because he's been banging goals. I tell you, no joke. And all of a sudden, now he missed an open goal.
Yeah.
What did Liverpool do right?
I think technically, I think tactically, Arne Slot has again done well in regards to the shape of the team, the players that were in the team. I think he got the selection right. And again, like the change in Liverpool this season is that we're controlling games, but almost overwhelming teams, but not with that cut and thrust that we're used to. It's about the ball movement. It's about moving into little pockets of space. It's about passing the ball through lines a lot more, rather than being a crab. And the rotation and the movement and the work rate that the players are putting in. Yeah, it's more of a kind of, we suffocate teams, and by suffocating teams, like they say, if you've got the ball, the other team can't score. So yeah, I think that was probably one of my thoughts are anyway.
Vinny, what did you think that we did that was so good that we kept them players quiet and managed to get that result?
I think like what Pred says, there's a lot more organized control about this team than a Klopp team. Like, you know what I mean? A Klopp team would have been just full throttle,
100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and maybe in certain instances with that 100 miles an hour, lack of concentration. Because how many times, for example, did you see us dominate a game with all these chances, and then a Crystal Palace or West Ham would get one chance, bang, it's from our defensive mistakes and so forth, things like that. So I think there's a lot more control, organized control, and I also feel that there's a certain level of awe that this Liverpool team is building, again, without necessarily being outstanding, without necessarily being, flooring teams. It's almost like people say this team are very efficient. They keep going. They'll make chances, and I think people are a little bit wary of that as well, if that makes sense.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add to what these two gentlemen said. They said it all. I think I'm only going to echo just things that they've actually said. I think what we're playing now is it reminds me of if you remember that old Public Enemy album cover, Fear of a Black Planet, and this is Fear of a Red Planet. And I think what we've done is we've instilled that in the mind of these teams, because when we went there, exactly as you said, that was a banana skin, but there was Fear of a Red Planet. They were watching, they were thinking, and I was watching, similar to what my two guys have just said here. You watch the manager and you watch the captain. And no disrespect to Klopp, he's a different character. He's quieter. He was controlled. He wasn't going up and down and beating his chest. He was just like, and the team have to mirror him, just like his captain has to mirror him. And I was watching Virgil, and Virgil it was all this. It was like, we've got this control. So I think, I think it was a psychological game rather than anything else, because as you said, we weren't great. We weren't like we blew them away, but psychologically they were already Fear of a Red Planet. They looked at our manager, looked at our captain. We kept it cool. We kept it moving. So yeah, I'm just going to echo what the two guys have said, to be honest.
Definitely. No, I fully agree with that. It's true. We are a lot more controlled. It's not the cut and thrust as beforehand. And I think that you see what you're talking about, that fear there that you're building, that's half the job done. Teams are coming and they're like, damn, man, we've got Liverpool at the weekend. It's like, it's half the job done. You've already put doubt in their minds. It's like, we have to be on smoke to beat these guys, kind of thing. And if you then turn up and you play good, chances are you're going to win the game. You are going to win the game.
And you know what? Sorry, I don't want to cut. I don't want it to sound almost like when I'm saying it that I'm not impressed with how we're playing or underwhelmed by it. I think we also just need to take into consideration, or let me put out what I'm taking into consideration here, is that this is a team which is still learning the culture and the style of their new coach. Do you get what I mean? So we're still adapting and learning whilst having a very good team, but learning on the job. This team is learning on the job with with this coach's way of doing things. So again, it's not full thrust. It's social. We're still just gradually improving game on game. We just happen to be improving at such a very accelerated rate as to most probably what people expected.
Okay, so
Do
Creds
you?
has asked a question.
Sorry.
No,
Before you go on to Creds, I just wanted to ask a question. I don't know if everyone else has seen the comment that a former Man United midfielder made in regards to the Liverpool team, and him saying that he watched Liverpool and actually thought that there was actually no difference between a Klopp team and a Slot team. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Disagree.
That's crazy. And listen, Stevie Wonder can see the difference. It's great. That is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. How you could come out and say that in public is that's got to be haterade. Come out and say something. 100% haterade.
I mean, I totally agree.
It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Chalk and cheese teams.
As I said earlier, I totally agree, because as I was just saying, you look at the manager and you look at the team, and he's a different manager. Of course it's the same players. Nobody's saying that, but but it's a different system. It's a different way of playing. It's it's not the same gung ho approach that we've had. And again, this is not a criticism of Klopp at all. It's a different manager. He's playing the same. He's moved the actual chess pieces around, and he's playing a different game of chess. That's what you can see. He's playing a different game of chess with the same. I mean, it's the same king, queen, pawn, and everything else, but he's playing a different game of chess. Otherwise, it's the same thing as saying all chess players play the same game. They don't, and you can see it in the team, like we've just been talking about, the way we managed that game, that potential banana skin. It's a different way of playing. So yeah, I think I'm just going to say what you said. It is hateration. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
There is. The Man U haven't been relevant since God was a boy. Let alone me.
And again, it's funny because I've heard people say, can you guys hear me okay? Because I have to take my headphones out. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
That we will now, where we had one on the Klopp. Again, it's not criticism of Klopp, because we loved what Klopp was doing, and we're very thankful for it. But what Slot's done, he's got like 3 or 4 different ways of playing. He can adapt. Like, he'll play it long if he needs to play it long. He'll play a high line if he needs to play a high line. He can counter. He can drop back. There are different ways of playing, and he'll adopt that in the game. He'll adopt that in one game. So no, I don't concur with that. What that ex-Man United
nonsense
midfielder said.
Who said that, by the way, Prince?
Right?
Who said that?
Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes said he was obviously online, and he said that he sat down, he watched Liverpool, and said he actually felt that there was no change in it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is he smoking something? Because like all of you have all said,
he was never as great as Stevie Gerrard. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly changes, and I mean, look, we're not going out and beating teams 5, 6, 7, 8-0 like a lot of supporters will be absolutely happy about. But the way we're the methodicity of us playing football, and the way we just consume teams out on the wide, over the top, long balls, short balls, fall through, like people picking up balls in pockets of space on the half turn. And I think it's very difficult to defend when you've got someone in between the lines on the half turn, because he's taking him on goal. So, and all of a sudden now you're centre half, you're back 4. They don't know whether to come and press or whether to go and drop. So yeah, we ask a lot of teams a lot of questions, and they can't. We're not consistent. Sorry, we're not like predictable. That's the word I'm looking for. We're not predictable because we can go out wide, we can go over, we can. So yeah, long may it continue.
And if you think about when we played, very quick, you think about when we played Fulham, we're down to 10 men, right? and we should have won that game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I think if you, and again, this is not to, we're not criticizing Klopp here, but maybe if that was last season, because of the way we play with that full throttle, if we had 10 men in a game, there might be an element of burnout and you'd be hanging on, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's also maybe an indication of the difference. You've got a lot more control, so you've got a lot more energy also to utilize and push forward with in terms of how these games are working out. There is definitely a difference.
It's funny how you say that, though. Do you remember there was actually another time when Klopp was manager, and I think it was Nunes who got sent off. We were playing Fulham, and I think the game ended 2-2. He got remember Nunes got sent off. I think it was one of his
early games.
Early games, yeah. Yeah, and he got sent off, and I think the game finished 2-2. We drew. We ended up drawing with them.
But the thing with this, the thing with Vinny, what he's saying about the recent time that happened to us, I've never seen, and I'm not saying because I'm Liverpool sport, I have never seen a team set up the way they done with 10 men. It's like we played 2 at the back, 4 out wide. I had to sit there and I'm trying to work out what's he doing.
Wide,
yeah, it's like what? Like you had 2 on the wings, you had 2 up front, you had 1 man in midfield, but we controlled the game again. Like it was crazy. I went back on my Football Manager game. I thought, let me try this one out.
Did it work?
Well, I'm still work in progress. Work in progress.
I didn't think so. So Cred says, if Trent was still on the field talking about what do you call it? Do you think we win that game against Bournemouth? Because remember he came off injured.
Yeah. I think
Why is that even a question? Was that a question?
Well,
is Trent a liability on the field? I don't understand.
There's been a few questions, Jim, about Trent and his commitment of lately, and is he really with us, or is he already in Spain eating paella and all the rest of it? His performances haven't been, 100, especially like against Man United. So
I don't know. I mean, I've always been one of these. I think there's unfair criticism of players. Immediately that there's any speculation of their future, whether he goes or whether not, I don't know. But I think it's wrong to start questioning his commitment. Maybe it's affecting his form because things play on people's minds. I don't think he's not committed to Liverpool, but clearly, like everybody, we're all human beings. Things are on your mind, and you're not fully all there. But as for, I'm just saying, as for the question, would we come on now? He's still class. Even at half throttle, he's better than most of the defenders in the Premier League. So, and he's got a supporting cast around him to make sure. So, but my answer to that question just is a straight yes. I think we should still win, and I also think that we need to cut Trent a little bit of slack. That's all. Whether he stays or goes, you know what? He's a young man. Good luck to him, bro. Either way, I want him to stay in my team, of course. But at the end of the day, everyone's got to do what's best for them.
100%. Oh, he was giving his thoughts on that one. Okay. As I always say, I like to have a look at players that we're meant to be having a look at, or there's some rooms are interested in when they play against us. That's when I find a big test. Let me see what you're really like when you play against us. What did you guys make of Semenyo? Look at Pred's eyes. Well, he's a player that we've been linked with, gents. So I'm just saying.
I'm saying nothing. Go ahead. You guys go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I did have to have him in my dream team for a little while because he was on fire. And he does know where the back of the net is, and he's got an assist or 2 in him. And he was one of the players to hit the woodwork actually against us.
Not saying that he's not a good player. I was just trying to, in my head, I'm looking up and I'm trying to see where he fits or where he would fit.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, yeah, and that's why I was kind of looking. I think he's at the moment. If he did come to us, I think he would be an impact player, i.e., coming off the bench. I don't think he's a starter for a Liverpool team. But obviously the boy's got talent. He's got ability. Like he's got the stats on the board as well in regards to his goals, his assists. He's a fit lad because his data in regards to his running is phenomenal. So yeah, if we get him, then how he played on Saturday, he hit the bar, but was he really in the game? You know what I mean? So it was quite hard to judge, really.
Okay, Vinny, what did you make of Semenyo against us? I'm talking about.
I'll be honest, I wasn't really watching him to that greater effect. More looking at focusing on our game. What I will say, touching on players, as mad as this may sound, I'm not getting overly caught up in what players potentially can come in or will be coming in, because what I've noticed with this organisation, which are now the custodians of Liverpool Football Club, they will always bring in someone who you don't even expect, and we'll be talking all these names, and then it'll be completely left field. So Semenyo might be of interest, obviously, through the fact that the director of football we now have was the director of football at Bournemouth.
Exactly.
So yeah, there could be a linkage there, but yeah, man, I just you just don't know with this club at the moment, man. So, but good player, no doubt. But yeah, wasn't really watching out for him on the weekend, if truth be known.
Okay. So, Mark Foss says Szoboszlai stepped up in the last 2 games, more shots plus goal. I thought against Bournemouth he was trash. He kept giving the ball away. He couldn't do nothing. He was absolutely trash. Sorry, to be honest. We will. Don't worry, Mark. We will get on to tonight's game, which I have a different opinion on. But the Bournemouth game for me, he was one of the players I was advocating, screaming at my TV to get him off. I wanted him off. Seriously, I was screaming, get him off and play Harvey Elliott in that position as the 10.
So do you feel then, Artie, that I know we spoke about it being a professional performance, but based on what you're saying there, do you think we kind of also do you think we were lucky to get away with 2-0 based on that?
Right, like you said, I don't know, like Jim explained it quite well actually, and I don't know about lucky, but I just thought that his performance for me wasn't great. Every time he got the ball, he lost it. He couldn't find a pass, or he got the ball, miscontrolled it, or someone was snapping at him, and he just lost the ball. And that isn't good enough for me.
Yeah.
And also,
I agree with you. Yeah.
I need you to be consistent. So, like I said, that game, that's last week. Now you perform like that. Tonight you've performed totally different. Totally different. But I need you to be consistent. I'd rather have players, that there are 7 every game, rather than you got that guy 1 week is a 9, 1 week is a 4. I don't know. It's no good to me.
I hear what you're saying. However, we've got to kind of balance it out and see. Yes, we want him to be better on the ball and be better on the ball consistently. I just think Saturday was another game where, okay, maybe his touches weren't great and his passing weren't on point. However, you still can't mask over the amount of work rate and running and yardage that he covered to in regards to our defensive shape off the ball, and then selfish running going forward, opening spaces up for people when he's doing some unselfish running.
Like we said last week, Preds, this is sounding like a Henderson conversation, bro.
Yeah, but I definitely think that Szoboszlai's got a lot more to offer than Hendo. Hendo's done the job for us at a point. But I think in games, sometimes you have to manage the game and manage some players. And you're saying about Semedo was quiet, Kluivert was quiet. I mean, it wasn't. Yes, it was part of a team performance, but some of the times Szoboszlai was there trying to cover ground, doing the press. So sometimes you just have to appreciate, right? You weren't great on the ball, but when you grow up in football, they say if you're if you're having a bad day at the office in regards to on the ball, you make sure it don't affect you off the ball. And he worked his socks off. So
My
I'll give him that.
mantra was always, when I'm coaching, my mantra was always to my youngsters was always, if you're having a bad day on the ball, make sure your opposite number's having a bad day, that he doesn't get the better of you.
Yeah, that goes into that kind of almost the same thing. Don't let your opposite player have a good game. So that means that you have to then just work hard off the ball. So if it's not working on the ball, you can't. You just have to make up with the work rate and the effort off the ball, and make sure that you don't let anyone down with your work rate. And I think Szoboszlai's got a high work rate.
We're gonna have to quickly move on to the next one because I'm kind of itching to get onto that next one. But before we do, quickly, we're gonna go around. Who was your man of the match for the Bournemouth game? Yeah. It's there. No one's jumping out. No one's jumping out, is it?
Well,
not for me.
you know what? I'll tell you what.
All kind of 7s out of 10s.
I'll tell you who for me, and he on this show. If you've been watching this show, I've normally got my fork out when I'm talking about this guy. But Robinson done really well at left back. He was defended very, very well. Going forward, he was a lot more tidier. He weren't sloppy. His timing of his run was really good, and it was like the old Robinson back again. So for me, Robinson.
Okay. Vinny and Jim?
I'm going to pop out, because there was nobody there that I thought, yeah, back of the net. Like I said, I think it was a team performance, and I think that they all. I mean, I probably just coming back to what you were saying about Szoboszlai. Personally, I don't give him a 4. I give him 5 personally as the bottom line, average 5, and he's the definition of play your position. He played his position. It wasn't great. It wasn't over whatever's, but he was told, stay there and do this. And he stayed there and did this. So, and I think on that particular game, a lot of them stayed there and did this. Mm-hmm. And I think because they stayed there and did this, as they were told by their coach, that's why we went on to win the game. But I didn't sort of see anybody there that I was like lighting sparks. I'm sorry, I can't give you one.
Wow. Okay. Vinny?
Sentiments again repeat. I just think it was everyone's kind of like a 7 out of 10. I don't think there was a truly outstanding player. Robertson did have a good game. I know he's been getting it lately, but I think everyone was just 7 out of 10, man. And I think just another thing,
getting in the net for real. And actually, there was some clips going about of Robertson. They showed you like his game intelligence and what he was doing, how he was covering back and all the rest of it, and what he did on the ball and everything. And it's true, it did make me kind of open my eyes. I kind of checked. I was like, actually, he did actually have a good game. He really did. He did have a good game. I ain't gonna lie.
And you know what Credible had about? Sorry, very quick. You know, Credible talked about Trent. Asked a question about Trent. Just to add to that, or just to come on to that, I think he's gone personally in the summer.
Yeah,
but irrespective. Maybe we're giving people like Trent and Robbo too much of a hard time, right? Because we've only lost 2 games or 3 games this season. We've only lost 3 games this season. Now, their performances may not have been outstanding in all of those games, but they're contributing and performing to a certain level of consistency as well. We're most probably just going, because we're watching it and it's Liverpool and it's our team, perhaps we're going too hard on how we're looking at their performances. But when you look at when you put it into the overall picture, are they that bad? Are they playing that badly? Look how many games we've won.
I think what it is, Vinny, I know what you're saying, but I think what it is, I think we've been spoiled because them 2 were the assist kings.
Yes.
I think that's what's been missing.
Yeah.
They were the assist kings. You know what I mean? They were called they're the postman. Give them the ball and they'll deliver.
Yeah.
It was no
Yeah.
joke, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. Like, oh, we're not seeing that no more.
But we've changed, haven't we, as a team?
I was just about to say, but wasn't that what their old manager wanted them to do?
Exactly.
This new manager is moving the chess pieces differently. So we can't, you know, they were assist kings because that's what their manager told them they wanted to do. This manager's playing differently. So I can't think we can blame them for not assisting as much as before because they got slightly different roles. That, you know, that's just what I was saying.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. It is. They do have different roles now. It's true. It's a fact. But I think that's what a lot of people are still looking at. And still, what's going on, man? You know, Robbo and Trent whipping in these balls. What's going on? It's not happening no more.
I think there was a few games when they were making uncharacteristic errors. You know, for me, I think it started. The period for Robertson started when Saka, like, kind of spun him inside out. That was kind of the start for Robbo. And regarding Trent, I think because this clouds over him about the contract and where he's going to be and X, Y, and Z, I think everyone else is kind of. But in actual fact, Trent, if you think about it this season, Trent's actually performed better as a defender than he has done for a long, long time, defensive wise. And that's probably But I think that's down to the new way we play and the new way that you're getting coached with, more controlled with our distances between the midfield and the back four and the midfield. They're almost, you know, they're consistently good. So yeah, I just think they're falling behind, but they're falling below the standards that we expect them to. But like you're saying, they're human beings. They go through a period, but you know, I still don't doubt their ability and their worth to the team at this season.
So Mark Foster says Ryan Gravenberch was his man of the match against Bournemouth. CW says for once this season Robertson did well against Bournemouth. Game was like giving Patrick Schumann steroids all of a sudden and more useful. Okay. Good evening, Big Teach, Uncle Teach. And he says, what?
Teach,
is that
well,
my Uncle Vinny? Big shouts go out to Big Teach, mate. I tell you. Nice to have you on board, sir. Remember, people hit that share, that like, and that subscribe as well. Yeah, okay. It don't matter. We got the result. All that matters against Bournemouth. Issue if they can't score, a sitter. Very true. Very, very true. Okay, so gentlemen, let's move on to tonight's. Tonight, that one did sweet me. That one did sweet me as well. So it was up in the air. Liverpool, you know one thing I had to tell people as well. You're 1-0 down, blah, blah, blah. I said, yo, one thing, let me tell you this. There's one thing that you need to know about Liverpool. And it's like you not got memories of a goldfish, bro. The last 3 seconds. You know what happens to teams when they come to Anfield, whether they got a lead or not. Do you know what happened? And then it was like, oh, yeah. I said, exactly. I said, even the big boys. Yeah, your Barcelona's, your big boys. When it comes to Anfield, it's a totally different kettle of fish. It's Spurs we're talking about here, bro. 1-0. I ain't flustered. Bring it on. And so we did, gentlemen. So we did. Now, this performance for me, from the boom, chalk and cheese once again. Talk to me about tonight's performance, gentlemen.
Well, I'm going to let the other two lads go because I'm actually catching up with it right now.
I can see that. I can see that.
So, gentlemen, after you.
Yeah, no. So I was listening. I was flicking between radio and TV and so forth, doing multitude of things. But clearly, what came over was just a pure dominant performance. So, what in terms of what we were talking about at the start of this meetup tonight, and talking about the very measured, it's controlled, we're playing, we're not going out and blitzing teams. This team got blitzed today. This team got absolutely blitzed. Now, you could say that's down to also how bad really Tottenham are right now. But we still got to go and put them to bed. and that's what we've done. And everyone to a man was outstanding. So Bosley, we saw what we want to see in that player. If we can get that from him consistently, and then you still got McAllister and you got Gravenberch and you got Harvey Elliott who can come in and so forth. Wow. Brilliant, brilliant. Magnificent performance today. Magnificent. And
That it was.
yeah, I think I'll be interested to hear what Slot says after, because I think this will be one of the performances he's most happy about. But I will say Spurs are, they're
Garbage.
they're awful at the moment.
Garbage, bro. The word is garbage. The word you're looking for is garbage.
Yeah, I mean, Expressions called them Chris Hemsworth FC because they conceded 4, and I was like, this guy.
Hey, that's quality.
I was like, I don't know how he's coming out with that right in real time in the midst of the game. I was like, but yeah,
That's quality. Jim.
Yeah.
I think I got to take my hood off for this one first, bro, man. Before I start, I was reaching for the whiskey, yeah, exactly, but I couldn't find my own. You know what? Yeah, I think it's an interesting game. I'm going to say a couple of controversial things. I think the first controversial thing is that I think this was the best game we played all season.
I don't think that's controversial.
Okay, and I sat there and I just thought there were lots of reasons for this. Reason number one, we were already 1-0 down already. We were in deficit before we even started the game, right? So it's one of those ones. In every game, it's must win. Well, we had to win. This wasn't a must win. We had to win because we were 1-0 down. So we came into the game with 1-0 down. The way we dominated, and we weren't playing some minnows. I don't care about the injuries. They're still Tottenham Hotspur. We're playing an established Premier League team. And the way that we dominated them, I thought I don't care that Son had the odd shot that hit the bar. I think we dominated that. We controlled it. Everybody, again, back to what we were saying earlier, everyone knew their job. It's like, your job is to stand there. Your job is to make sure this guy doesn't go anywhere near there. And your job is to do this. And we made sure, because obviously Spurs came there with the let's hit them on the break, surprise, surprise. But we were like, yeah, keep coming. We worked that one out already. We knew what you were going to do. There weren't any times when I was sitting there going, oh my God, Son's about to outrun us and hit us in the break. No, I wasn't worried at all, just like you. I sat there and I thought, I'm totally calm watching this game, right? I'm not fearful of being hit on the break. We controlled the game so well and so much. And I think what was also interesting for me, just the third bit then, was Darwizzy. Now, Darwizzy, I find a very interesting character in lots of different ways. Me and my son have got disagreements. My son thinks that I'm too harsh on Darwizzy because I'm always like, man, we brought this guy to score goals. Where is he scoring goals? And my son's like, oh, his contribution. I'm like, I don't care. If I buy you to score goals, I expect you to score goals. However, I'm going to eat my words, because when I sat there and watched the way he contributed in that game, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. It's his play. He's obviously his physicality, his style. He disrupts and he occupies two people at once. And I thought, as long as you've got a Mo who's going to put the ball away, Darwizzy will occupy two. But as long as you've got a Mo, if you ain't got a Mo, then the focus on Darwizzy will be worse, because then you'll be like, nah, we paid X amount. Why aren't you scoring? But with the way he played, his disruptive play, he was always forward thinking, he was always getting in there. I had to eat my words a bit, even though I have been very critical of him, I've got to say. So I think then we talk about, as I said, individual players. I think Mo played Mo. He just sat around and said, yeah, give me the ball, I'll score, or give me the ball, I'll put it there. Mo does what Mo does. Why I also thought this was one of our best games was it was pleasing on the eye. If you're a non-footballer and you watch that game, the way they set themselves up in little triangles was wicked to watch. Mm-hmm. And it was always like, there was the odd little back flips and whatever, but it was all like, I'll stand here, the minute anybody else can come for me, you make sure you make you enough space, the ball's coming to you, and then we go forward. And that's what I found. It was always, I'll stand here. When they come to me, you stand over there, the ball comes to you, we go forward. There was no defensive, there was no what, it was like, we go forward. And we were going forward in little triangles all the way through. It was like 3 of them were all waiting, pass, forward, pass, forward. I sat there and I was like, this is a tactical masterclass on how to play somebody who comes there with, we're going to hit you on the break, we're 1-0 up, yeah, and we're going to get you. But obviously, you can only do this kind of game if you've got the personnel. And we had the personnel. We had the personnel and we had the manager. So for me, for all those reasons, I mean, I was sitting there thinking, man, the match, I'll pick all of you because I think all of you were fantastic. I didn't see anybody there that I thought you are so rubbish. Everybody knew their game. Everyone knew what they were supposed to do to different extents, obviously. But I think everybody more or less played it well. So that's why I said this was our best game for all of those reasons.
Okay. Freds.
Well, I think it was.
You didn't get to see the game, did you?
Well, I'm kind of watching the highlights as we speak. Yeah, I was kind of watching it as we speak now. But what I noticed straight away is our passing was a lot more crisper.
Oh,
The pace of our passing was as it has been during the season.
We played tonight was levels, mate. It was levels.
Yeah, the rotation from midfield up front was on point. Yeah, we was just sharper, and we was. I think exactly what Jimmy said about being, or someone said about us having to come out and play because we're 1-0 down. Yeah, I think that had a massive impact, but it just kind of allowed us to go two step levels up. And the difference between Saturday and tonight is that our passing from left to right was a lot quicker, a lot sharper, a lot more instinctive. And then we had the end products every single time. Like we were peppering them. At one point, I think Spurs had 11 players in their box.
Yeah.
Defending. You know what I mean? And I've got to be honest, the goal of the game, I think, was probably Szoboszlai's.
The football.
Oh.
The football.
The football. Yeah, the football being played. But then if you look at it from a wide lens, right? McAllister gets the ball. As soon as McAllister gets the ball, Bradley's off. And then Bradley just goes, you can actually see the space he's running into. And then for the weight of pass that McAllister done to Bradley, then made Bradley's mind up in regards to a first time pass into Szoboszlai, where he then has 2 touch, 1 to control, 1 to finish. The football,
it was splendid.
Magical. We beat the Spurs 4-0.
Uncle T says, remember I said we have the best front 6 in football. I find it hard to argue against that. Very, very hard to argue against that.
Better than Madrid?
Better than who?
Better than Madrid?
I think we got more options than Madrid. I think Madrid have got Vinny.
You talk about Mbappe, Vinny,
Mbappe, Rodrigo, and then if you put in Bellingham in there as well, obviously
front 6. No, Bellingham
front 6. Okay, well, yeah, but he sometimes plays as a second striker, doesn't he?
6.
So if you think about the front 6, like for Madrid, yeah, on paper, like not on paper, but in reality, yeah, on the flanks. But you take them 2 away, who have they got? You might put a Valverde on the right side, but he more or less plays as a midfield orchestra. But with Liverpool,
didn't Madrid come to us and get their medicine already?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they did, but I think they're a different animal now. Not that I'm worried about it, I just think they're a different animal now. I think Mbappe was still finding his feet, and I think he's found them well and truly now. But
he's found him playing them teams in Spain.
True, I hear that. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you.
But if you think about our front 6, right? And what's pleasing this season is whatever front 3 he's played at a time.
Yeah.
It's worked. and it's like you can put Salah, Nunes, Diaz, which worked really, really well early part of the season. Mid part of the season, you have Gakpo, Diaz as the false nine, Salah out there, and then you've got Jota to come back in there as well. So, like,
the team, what we were saying earlier, this is a team in its truest essence, but everyone is contributing in some way.
What I was gonna what I was gonna say, actually, you just reminded me now what Jim was talking about, Darweezy. Not only about, you know what, a lot of people talk about, his effort, this, that, and the other as well. Do you know what? He makes some great runs, you know. He makes some great runs. And I've seen it from day dots that he came, actually. And he doesn't get found with the pass often enough for the runs that he makes, to be fair. Whereas, you know, if you've got that number 10, maybe, I don't know, like a Coutinho or somebody like that, I think he gets found a lot more often.
Yeah, but Artie, sorry, bro. Are you saying that he doesn't get he doesn't get found either A, because you don't think that our players are quality enough in terms of matching his thinking of where he's going, or is it B, they don't trust him as the option to score, so they go for another option?
One, I think they don't trust him as much. Two, Mo's greedy.
Good. That's his job. Be greedy. I don't care. Score.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. I'm just saying.
Tottenham about that lad trying to pull on the night out, but come 3 a.m. they end up with the creature. Yeah. He ain't wrong there, mate. I tell you. Mark says Tottenham ain't won at Anfield since the Titanic set sail. If you're old enough to remember. Spurs parked the bus and still conceded 4. Just shows the defense is trash. They ain't got a defense at the moment. But at the same time, we were too good and cooking. Listen tonight. This is, like Jim says, I ain't gonna argue with that. I would agree. For me, best footballing performance for me of the season so far. The football that I saw was so pleasing on the eye. Spurs didn't have it. Listen, no, but didn't matter what Spurs tried. Anytime they had the ball, 2-3 man was on them. Bam. Give me that ball back. Thank you very much. Recycle, we go again. Recycle, we go again. I bet you that then you sign Intel can't wait to get that contract done. Let this 6 months be up. I'm off back. Send me back to Bayern Munich, mate. I'll ride the bench. I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here for this.
That's cold, man.
If you look at the way Liverpool defend off the ball, it's like if we don't press, we retreat, and then as soon as the ball goes into one particular area, all of a sudden we hunt in a pack.
Hunting.
And it's like the first person nearest to the ball, they don't go to the ball to get the ball. They go to the ball to force him one way or another way. And then it's the next one. Then all of a sudden now we're on the front, we're in the ascendancy. So I think our defending from the front and the way we create traps for teams, because that's what they are, they're traps. And we do it very, very well.
Very, very well.
At the moment.
Okay, so another thing that Nunes did very well today as well. Yeah, how many times did Nunes head the ball out from corners? Yeah, he did. Yep, he did that. Yep, many a time. I'm telling you.
You know what? He's really loved by the Liverpool fan base. You know, I know we've talked in the.
He is.
I don't know, but even I've said, look, I think he'll move. I think it might be better that he moves on this summer so we can get more potent firepower. But then we might even lose something with that. But one thing I appreciate about him is he's an honest player. He's honest. Everything he does is about. He doesn't, like you say, he doesn't try and shy away from, even when things aren't going well for him. He doesn't try and shy away. He'll always make himself available and present. And that's what if you think about Liverpool as a city and a people, all right, they may not always be the most honest, but what I mean is they appreciate graft, hard effort, and underdogs. That's the word I'm looking for. They look at themselves in the city as being the underdogs, and therefore someone like Nunes they gravitate to because he represents how they see themselves on the pitch.
So going back to Teach's comment, Chris says Rodrigo, Vinicius, Mbappe all day long. But then he says, in terms of a front six, though, I don't see who has better options and depth.
Yeah.
So maybe they might have a better starting front three, but options and depth.
Yeah.
We've got it.
To us. Welcome on board, brother O. Nice to have you on board, brother O Sampson. Good evening on Wembley again. That been like, come on, you red men. Oh yeah, damn right.
Yes, Ovid.
Damn right, mate. Damn right. And it says to Chris, fact that we still support Nunes, it sums up our fans. Loyal. Now, I remember I think he made a challenge today, run back cover, made a challenge today, and you could hear the crowd, Nunes. They love him, man. They love him. 85 minutes, scored 2 goals, but your name's getting chanted.
But that's the wonderful thing,
lie, man. I did say I'm not gonna lie. I've been cussing him, so I've been cussing him for days, and my son's been having a go at him. But I've just been saying I don't pay with that kind of money for you to be running around. You best put that ball in the back of the net, cuz. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm just saying this game, yeah, but the rest of the season I ain't been impressed. Sorry.
It's true. It's true.
I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Everybody's been saying that. We've been having this debate about Nunes for a good few years now, especially on this channel here. For a good few years, and a lot of people have been saying that, you know what, yeah, he's honest, he works hard, blah blah blah, and he does a lot of that, but really and truly, that's not what you was bought for. You was bought to score goals. But like we were saying, and me and Preds were saying, you know what, if these parts of your game ain't going right, at least make sure these other parts you are doing that, because there's a lot of strikers out there that you buy and they're not scoring goals and they ain't doing sweet FA, to be honest. They're walking back open, it's just not going for them. Do you know what, Nunes, he will get in that same position and miss the chance 10 times. He will be there every single time. That's one thing. He will be there every single time.
Question: if you had to keep Nunes or Jota, which one?
We asked this last week.
Okay.
We asked this on here last week. So that shows you he wasn't watching us last week.
No, I wasn't watching last week, man. You know what I mean?
1 minute. Let me just wait.
Hey, Jimmy, you see how Artie just set you up there.
I know. You know what? I know, and I feel right into it like an idiot.
He wasn't watching us last week. Okay. Don't think.
He's got his pen and paper out.
We watched that last week, and the big debate was Jota, obviously the better finisher and whatever, but he's always injured. He play. Nunes will be there for you to play. At least you can pick him to play, but then is he going to score the goals? It was a bit 50-50 to me. It was Preds. It was left up in the air, wasn't it?
It was 50-50.
It was 50-50.
Okay.
That shows you.
What would you do then, Jim?
You know what? Hilariously enough as it is, I would go Nunes. And the only reason I would go Nunes is because it's just simple, which everybody knows. I don't care how many goals Jota scores. If you're going to be injured for 60% of the season, you're also no use to me. I would prefer somebody who's going to be in there, create chances, move around, maybe not score as many, but other people could score the goals. Jota is just Weetabix, isn't he? He's not there. He's I can't deal with somebody who's going to be off 70% of the season. I'm sorry, you're no use to me. So Nunes is more, in inverted commas, use to me because he can score, even not as much, but he can also disrupt. He can also be in there. He can put headers away, and he can do enough to create chances for everybody else to score. So in terms of the season, Nunes is more used to me than Jota, regardless. That's what I'd say.
Okay. Mark says, I love him to bits, but please score some more goals, Nunes. Chris says, article is right. Nunes' name gets chanted, 85 million, 2 bloody goals. Nunes, the equivalent of Derek Chisora in boxing. Not well level, has many losses. He's fighting again as well. Coming up soon, actually.
I know. How does he get a card? How does he get a headline card? But anyway, that's another story for another day.
Our team isn't built for Nunes or Jota. Jota has adapted better than Nunes.
Don't know about that.
I don't know.
You know what?
Jota is technically a better footballer. That's probably why he's managed to fit in better, because he's technically a better footballer. That's probably why.
And I think we're I think we're kind of 50-50 because they're two different players, totally different players, and bring different quality to the team. And Jimmy said earlier on about Nunes making runs in X, Y, and Z and making good runs, and saying, is it a case of whether we're good enough to find him or not good enough to find him? My opinion is, I think that's part of our game plan. That's part of our game plan in regards to Nunes making these runs, because he creates these spaces where he creates runs, he's taking players with him. And I think that's part and parcel. I think that's part of our armory in regards to it. I just think we're football fans in it, and we're fickle. 1 week we love him, next week we're like, oh come on, and we've done that since Nunes has been in. But we still support him in regards to his Liverpool player, and I'm always going to support a player who puts on that famous red shirt, and he always works 100%. We would love more goals, and whether he'll be given more time to find that goal scoring form, who knows?
I'm going to be an absolute maniac, right? Sorry, T. If we had Nunes, Jota, and Diaz, and one of them had to go, I'll choose Diaz to go. I'd rather keep the other two.
If we had
Why?
them, hold on, Nunes, Jota, and Diaz, and one of them had to go, you choose Diaz to go.
Yeah.
All right.
I know that sounds mad, but I would do that.
Explain yourself now.
Right. So, for me, I don't think, and maybe my expectations are too high, but what I saw of Diaz when he first come in to in that January, was it January 2022?
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, right? Imagine when he gets a full season, or once he's been with us for X amount of time, he's going to be a monster. I appreciate he got the injury, all right, and I do also see that he still contributes. But personally, I don't think he's hit the levels what I thought he was going to hit. I think he's underwhelmed in that regards. I don't think he has become the player I thought he was going to become. That's my personal opinion.
I also feel though, Vinny, that part of that though is that he's been played out of position. Remember, his position is where Gakpo is playing now. He can't get in there.
Right.
He's been played as a
Okay.
That's not his natural
But
position.
why can't he get in there?
Because Gakpo's doing bits at the moment.
But that's the point. Who came first? Who came first, him or Gakpo?
No, he was there. But you have to remember, he had the downward spiral after his dad was kidnapped.
Yeah, and his dad come back and his dad's been chatting. His dad's been chatting big talk,
right? Then there was the nonsense his dad was chatting about Barcelona.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no compassion, you know.
In that time, Slot was actually rotating them. Like Gakpo was getting a game, Diaz was getting a game. Just so happened that Diaz managed to score a few goals, and he's been given that opportunity, and he's grabbed it, and I don't blame him, because what was happening with Gakpo as well. Remember, he was like, I've been set out in the cold. This guy's ahead of me. I'm I'm in now. I'm not letting go, bro. I'm not letting go. And to be fair to Slot, you know what? All right, you're performing, so I'm going to keep you in that position. So now Diaz has been asked to fill in. I'm not sure if I would let Diaz go just yet. I've seen a lot.
No, I'm not saying let go free though. I would.
But why would you let him go when he's going to play more games than Jota? So we let Diaz go, and then Jota's out for 3 months. Who do we look on the bench?
So here's my thing. So I hear your point, but I don't think we get enough out of Diaz anyway. That's my thing. I don't think we get enough out of him. I think at least with Jota, you know he's going to score goals when he gets an opportunity. I just don't. I don't think that Diaz cuts it the way I was expecting him to. In all honesty.
Yeah, but
That's it. It might be irrational. It might be irrational. He might be mad.
First of all, I think Vinny's heart's gone somewhere, man, because he don't care. The man's dad been kidnapped. He don't care. He's like, whatever. Whatever. Come back on the Steakhouse. I told you to play it. I'm telling you.
Listen, this is Liverpool Football Club, bro. Forget your dad. Liverpool.
Dad.
I was kidding.
You're a cold man and you're a cold guy, right?
Dad came back and was shouting. I'm at Barcelona. You got kidnapped. And you know, people were telling Liverpool, people were sending out their help you. And then you come back saying, yeah, I want to go. We're going to go Barcelona.
But really, secondly, come back to that same argument we just said about Darwizzi. The problem is, nobody's doubting Jota's ability scoring. He's just not there enough. Vinny, if it's him or Vinny, it's got to be Vinny. Not because Vinny's a better, greater player, but Jota's just not there. There is no point in having Jota for 6 games a season when I can have somebody else who plays 38. I'm sorry. That's my only. I think that's the only thing. No matter what anybody says about Jota, if it doesn't matter if you're the greatest player in the world. If you can't play more than a few games, you're useless to a team that's going to try and win the title. We're competing on 4 different cups. And exactly, he's useless to us.
We need a squad.
That's my only reason.
So Mark Foster says
Diaz
Jota and Nunes. CW says I want fit players, not hospital bed models.
Thank you.
Mark says no, Vinny.
It's all about, isn't it?
Diaz has same amount of goals now than what finished with last season.
Boy,
no, that ain't right. I think he's probably got about. No, you might be right. He's got about 2 or 3 goals.
I think it's about.
Diaz got 2 or 3 goals.
I think he's right.
Brother O says Diaz looks slightly above average over here. His numbers proves it, but I hear what Vinny is saying. We need more goals from him still.
I'm saying, man.
But you know what? This goes back to something that, and Preds will vouch for this, is something that I say time and time again on this show when we start talking about players. They need consistent games to get up to their full potential, playing in their position. We talk about these guys, and all of a sudden, just because they've come on and he's got 20 minutes, then he's meant to be a world beater. Then the next game he's out again. Then he comes back in. Come on, man! The guy needs consistent time in that position.
Yeah,
for me.
and I agree. And I think just to also add to that, my question to you, Vinny, is where were you when his dad was kidnapped? And it's been recorded. I'm a magistrate, by the way. Let me just click that in before.
He was one of the kidnappers.
Before you answer that question.
I'm not snitching, but Vinny was one of the kidnappers. Hey, gringo! El Santos said El Peso, eh?
Vinny, we need you to go and get your passport, mate. We need to see those.
See the stamp, yeah.
Vinny was one of them.
I thought, yeah, this guy's gonna be. I just don't feel. I think he's underwhelmed. I'll be honest with you. I just don't
you know what, Vinny. You know what? I agree with you in regards to that question that you posed. I agree with you with Diaz. I think in regards to, he's not out of the team because he's done anything wrong or he's not played. He's played reasonably well this season. He's got his few goals. But I think it's also good man management because at the end of the day, I think Slot's gone. This is a shootout. Claim your spot. When I give you the chance, do what you need to do. And if you do what you need to do on a consistent basis, you're in. And I think Gakpo's taken the challenge. And I think Gakpo's gone. He's now playing. His form is getting better and better. And it's no consequence to Diaz. But at the end of the day, he's getting a bit of part player because the emergence of Gakpo.
But this is what I said. This is what I say, Vinny, about regular game time in your position. When Gakpo was playing beforehand and he was being played as a false nine, this, that, and the other, everyone was running, he's not all of that, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden now, he's being played in the position that he's used to. And look, everyone's talking about Gakpo now because he's been given a run in that position.
But when Diaz was in that position, this is what I'm saying, I don't think that he was delivering to the levels that I would have expected. If you're looking at the levels that Gakpo's delivering at in that position, Diaz weren't doing that.
I wouldn't. Nah, for me, I wouldn't let him go just yet. And two, I wouldn't let him go over somebody who's not going to play as many games as him when you're in 4 competitions.
No.
That's not cutting your throat. Also, another thing we haven't mentioned is what we like to talk about is we want to have a squad and we want to have quality players in each, 2 quality players in each position. And this is someone who's pushing Gakpo to be the player he is right now.
No, you want competition.
I've got this guy behind me, pause, and he could come and take that slot. So, yeah, think about that. That's another thing you have to think about. Fred Swipe.
I'm still trying to. This pause.
It's a pause, bro. It's a pause, bro. It's a pause.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah, you've remember 2 quality players for each position, and he's making Gakpo perform at them levels now because he knows that it's easy for Slot to say, right, well, you sit down on the bench. He's been there. It's cold over here, bro.
Yeah, but I think Gakpo's looking behind and seeing Diaz, and he ain't too bothered. Pause. You know what I mean?
Nah. I know he's thinking, I need to keep performing. I need to keep on my toes because it's quite easy. You know what I mean?
And that's something you expect at a club like ours.
I have to say, respect Slot even today. Diaz didn't start as the false 9, which a lot of people have said on here as well that they preferred him in that position to Nunes. And Slot said no. And it worked. We scored 4 goals.
That's why he's the manager, isn't he?
I'm telling you, that's why he earns the big bread. So, gentlemen, we're going to quickly talk about a couple of performances before we get round to wrapping this one up. So, first performance, we're going to talk about player watch. We call this Connor Bradley performance tonight.
From the highlights, I've just seen. I mean, he defended quite well.
Jimmy and Billy missed what I said when I said we're going to talk about Connor Bradley, and they went, "Yeah,
we were waiting for the big boss to start. We were waiting for the big boss to start, and he started. He started.
All right, go. Yeah, watch. Don't be a sheep, friends. Don't be a sheep. Be a leader. Just a quick roundup. Connor Bradley.
My very quick one was
You don't need to talk first because Fred was at training.
Okay,
it's called cock talk.
I think. Listen, this guy. This is why I ain't worried about Trent going. I'll be honest with you. I'm not worried if Trent goes. This guy is brilliant. He is a find, and he was awesome today. Awesome. You know, there's so much what's expected, and that's why I don't think, to be fair, that's maybe why Trent isn't going to get the offer, potentially, what he might be looking for from Liverpool. If there is a certain offer, if they've given him an offer and he said, "Now I want more," I don't think he's going to get any more because I think they'll go, well, we got Conor Bradley, mate. So, you know what I mean? We won, but yeah, Conor
I
Bradley.
think, yeah, I think to add to that, I mean, obviously, as I said, I watched him. What I like about Conor is I call him the ghost because he looks like a ghost. He's not assuming, he's not imposing, he's not whatever, but he ghosts in and out. And literally, I was watching him very carefully, as you said. He goes, he's when we're attacking, he's there. When we're defending, he's there. When in the middle, he's there, but he's a ghost. He's literally just because the other team busily watching out for the Salahs and the Gakpos and everybody else around them. They're not looking for this young boy running around the place looking like he should be playing little league football, right? And but that's the beauty. Exactly. He looks like he should be getting around. But that's what I'm saying. But I think that's what makes him him. Because he's so unassuming, but then when he touched the ball, you're like, damn, this boy can play, and his forward play for me was excellent. I thought when he got that ball, when he went forward, I was like, yeah. So that, I mean, I don't really have much more to say except, yeah, man, thumbs up. Everything about him. The ghost was there. He played his game. And he's an integral part, and it's and also why you've also just got to give him simple props is you're a young lad, you're trying to stand out in a team of established superstars from all over the world, and he did just that. Full stop.
Well, what I will say, and what I will say is that I think he's reacted really well from the PSV game. I think he had a really bad game. A poor game against PSV, got roughed up there, which at first, that was the first time that game I thought, I'm not sure about Bradley. Not sure about him, but I kind of seen another side of his defending where, the winger got the best of him quite a few times. So to come back tonight and to play the way he done tonight, all kudos to him.
Conor Bradley is going to be a very special player if managed well, says Brother O. Bradley's a monster. He's definitely different to Trent, but he puts in a shift and does what a right wing back is meant to do. I hope you mean right wing back. He's not a right winger. Right wing back. All right, Bradley, already one of my favorite players. Okay. Yep. And I also feel safer defensively with Bradley in the team.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt that what Trent can do on the ball when he's got the ball, there's no doubt. Obviously, Bradley can't do that, but I wouldn't expect him to. But what I would expect him to do, like I said, I feel defensively safer, and I'm glad because he's a right back. He's a defensive player. So for that's your first job. Anything you can do to anything other than that is a bonus. And I think that saves Konate going across there to cover all the time for Trent as he does to that right side. So Konate is in the middle where he's supposed to be, which then just allows my boy VVD to lay like this and just orchestrate what's going on and just cover and clean up. It makes us a lot more solid. It does make us a lot more solid. So for real, if Trent decides he's gonna, Trent's going anyway. So I'm like, all right, cool.
I think it shows that as brilliant and acceptable as Trent is, he's not irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a different type of replacement we get.
Yeah.
Right. But he's not irreplaceable. And that's key to me. Whereas, all right, if we were to lose Salah or Virgil, you're potentially, between now and, God forbid, between now and May, it's a different kind of story, isn't it?
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. You lose most output of goals that he produces and whatever, and assists. Even though I said he's greedy, looked at today, he's got 13 assists in the league. He's one of the highest. And VVD, what he does at the back, you lose that. You are talking issues. Whereas Trent, he can be replaced. For me,
He's got an exceptional talent, but yeah, and again, it's not to discredit him, but yeah.
Definitely.
I think that was the guy.
Okay, another one quickly we're going to talk about quickly, Szoboszlai.
Awesome.
Tonight.
Awesome. Yeah. Maybe his best game this season.
Okay.
And yeah, let's just see. I want to see him go on from here. Let's just drive it. I want this Premier League back title so badly. I'll be honest with you. I'll forego anything else to win that title.
Yeah.
So if you
Even the Champions League. Yeah. Give me the Prem. Give me the Prem. I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think
and now that Newcastle made it to the final, I don't mind. If I lose to Newcastle, I don't mind. But to lose to Arsenal, whatever, I don't care.
Chelsea,
yeah. It's mad that we're saying that. Any other podcast might look at us and think this is a madness what they're talking about. But no, this Szoboszlai guy is, if he keeps kicking on the way he's kicking on, then yeah, we can just go. There's tough games coming up, real tough games. And if he's showing that level now, he's got to show it in the next games coming up.
100%. 100. Fred Szoboszlai.
Much better performance. Probably, I agree, best performance probably of the season. Just it's down to him now to just keep the momentum going and keep improving his performances.
Okay, Jimmy.
Yeah, there's not much more to add. As I said, the same thing as everybody else, really. I think I've always, seeing him play. I think today, again, I come back to what I said at the very beginning. He played his position. He was told, "I want you to stay here and do this," and he stayed here and did this all the way through. He didn't do that. He didn't go left. He didn't go. No, he did what he was told to do, and it was because of what him doing what he was told to do is what created the opportunities that we went on and won that game. So I can't say any more than that, except, yeah, I'm with these two guys. Excellent.
Well, Mark has got a very interesting comment before we continue. And Mark says, why Kluivert to push Szoboszlai more?
I don't think so.
Jimmy's not on that one. Jimmy's not on that one at all. He's not.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not. I'm desperately trying not to say he's only there because he's got his dad's name. I'm trying not to say that there. He's alright, but I know what I mean. I'm not. I'm seeing. Is he that good?
Jimmy, you failed miserably.
No.
You weren't trying to do that.
I'm trying not to, Mark.
I'm trying not to say you anything because you're
I'm going to say it anyway.
Look, he's alright, but I'm sorry, he's not a world beater. He's not somebody that I'm rushing.
For me, this is what I need to see. People jump on this bandwagon too quick. So he's coming. He was okay. Now he's hit a rich vein of form. Can this form continue, and will it continue next season? Then we're going to have a different conversation for me. Because there's too many of them players. They're coming in all of a sudden, right? You know what? The banging goals, blah, blah. 50 million. Go and buy them. Next thing you know, they're at Trabzonspor in Turkey or something like that.
Yeah. You remember the buddy who was at Bolton, right? And was getting pure goals one season. Black guy, big black striker, right? And got a cap for England. Now, there you go. None of you lot can remember his name, but that's exactly the kind of people we're talking about.
Is it Richards?
Michael something. Was it Michael?
Michael. Yeah, I remember he played for Bolton, and then did he not play for Forest as well? Or was that another guy? Yeah, but I know who you're talking about. Went for one England cap and then
Michael Sutton. I'm sure it was Michael something. Was that? I'm sure it was Bolton. He was that.
Knows who he's talking about. Please post it in there because that's bugging me now.
Early 2000s.
I see him as well. Yeah. Where did he go after that?
Where did he go?
I can't remember. I know that he had that rich vein of form at Bolton, right? And I think he even got capped for England while he was at Bolton.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. Oh, I see.
Hot
Yeah.
moment, mate. Hot moment.
Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. At the end of the day, he hasn't done enough. Not enough for me. Sorry, I'm not going to say anything else.
All right, gents. Before we wrap up, as we do, our last segment is AOB. Any other business, where we are now allowed to speak about any other club apart from Liverpool. Okay, as well as Liverpool actually. And one thing I do want to start with first off is transfers. Are you upset that we didn't buy anybody, or do you believe that what we have, we can manage with?
I'm all right with what we have. Sorry. I'm not upset at all. I don't believe in spending money for the sake of spending money. I think at the end of the day, you know, if you've got a squad that needs a revamp, fair enough.
Jim, you're Nigerian. We know this, bro. We know. Yeah? We know this, bro. We know this, bro. How much? No. No, but honestly, all jokes aside, honestly, do you not believe we need a backup centre half, backup left back? What happens if Gravenberch gets injured? Really? You're going to tell me just you are all happy that we didn't get no reinforcements?
I don't. It's not. I'm not staying awake. Sorry, go on, bro.
No, I think like Jimmy said, I think at the moment, you know, our injury list is actually is manageable. Players are fit and playing, and we've got a squad that's not gelled. And I just think that, like Jimmy said, spending money for the sake of spending money. If there was something that was
for the sake of spending money, we spoke about this last week, right? Listen, we have a tremendous chance to win the title, so why not buy the reinforcements to guarantee that we win the title?
Yeah, but what you're saying, but what I'm saying is if you're going to buy reinforcements to get us over the line, you have to buy somebody who's better and who can get into the team straight away. So it's either you get someone who fits that bill and is able to get into that team straight away, or you get somebody who in the future has got potential. At the moment, it probably wasn't the right time to jump in regards to getting any particular players. So at the moment, if it's not broke, why fix it at this moment in time?
Yeah. I was going to say just as more or less the same thing you've just said there, cuz. In that basically, if you've got, I think what we actually risk, RT, by bringing in somebody else is disrupting the rhythm and the team spirit. Right now, it's the rhythm and the spirit is what, and the actual collaboration and the camaraderie, all those unsaid things that aren't that you can't buy, you can't pay for. The actual manager and the management team have built into that winning machine is what we've got right now. And I think to start bringing in different elements might disrupt that rhythm right now. And if we had a load of injuries, I think, but we don't. So I'm back to exactly what my man just said there. If it ain't broke, I ain't fixing jack. All right, fix it at the summer after we're sitting there with that Prem title. Fine. Until then, this is February, cuz ain't no one going nowhere. Stay where you are, play a position. Let's win this league.
But what I'm trying to say, before I get to you, Vinny, on this point, what I'm trying to say is, if we get an injury to someone like Gravenberch, and the reason why I say that is, we've got Endo on the bench, but Endo ain't getting no game time because Endo don't fit what Slot wants. Endo's just a destroyer. Slot wants someone who can do that but play football. So if we lose somebody like that, we are then going to be under pressure. We're going to struggle. We need a backup. He cannot play every game. Like we just spoke about, we are in 4 trophies.
But he's not playing every game because someone like Gravenberch didn't play. He didn't play
every game.
Not the Champions League, not the Champions League recently, not the league.
Sorry, apart from when we played, who was the little
Atkinson
team we played in the
Atkinson Stanley.
Yeah,
Atkinson Stanley.
Accrington. Who were they? Come on.
RT, go and get all our youth players and put them in the other cup competitions. I don't care. we are not disrupting that senior team. We got a whole heap of young boys. Put them in. We're actually now in the final anyway of the first Dibby Cup that we don't really care about, right? The other cup, fair enough, we can put a mixture of the youth team in there. Let's see if we've got another Trent or another Connor sitting there that we can fling in there, right? And keep all the big boys for the main main competition. I'm not going to go there and I said Nigerian or not, we're not spending money. Let's save our money. Then when we get to the summer, yeah, then we have more money to go and buy 2-3 big man. That's my thing.
Vinny, before I get to you, hold on. Chris said, Endo is that girl you don't want, but is useful around the house. Oh, you're wrong. No, you're wrong, bro. You're wrong. You're wrong. See that Mark says that we've got Morton. Let's not do what United do and panic buy.
Hey, here's a question for CW. Right, it's a question for CW. What's his thoughts on Steven Gerrard being linked to the Carlisle United? Is it assistant manager? No, manager.
They're talking about him being assistant manager with Liverpool.
No, they've touted. There's a link, apparently, rumour saying that Carlisle United are interested in obtaining Steven Gerrard's services as manager.
Go down. Mark says if Ryan Gravenberch gets injured, play Szoboszlai and Harvey where Szoboszlai plays. Okay, yeah, good looking out. All right, Vinny, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm happy with the squad as it is. I don't think we need any more additions at this moment in time. I think this organisation, this FSG, they are well informed and comfortable in terms of how they do their business. So we might see players coming in the summer. I'm sure we will. Maybe not a lot, but they would have done their research, mate, and they would have. So I'm not very often that you'll hear people say that, you know what I mean, that they're happy with their board or whatever, but I have trust in this board and how they do things. So if they have done an investment, then I'm good with that. And it was Michael Ricketts was the guy.
Michael Ricketts.
Michael Ricketts. Yes, I remember him now. Yes.
Michael Ricketts, you know. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Further on to any other area or B, I must say, I was very impressed with Mr. Howe's tactics against Arsenal. Did you not see what he did with Fabian Schär?
I didn't.
Bro, Fabian Schär was pushing on and squeezing up right through the middle, closing up Declan Rice, pushing up further up the pitch. Bro, listen, he even spoke about it. After the game, he said, yep, that was a tactic we said, yep, this is one thing we needed to do. Get on my man, close him down, push on him, blah. Fabian Schär is meant to be a centre half. He's up there at the other end causing problems to help them score goals, bro. I was very...
Was it Fabian who got the goal against us to make it 3-3?
I think it was, you know.
When the ball was going up.
You might be right. You might be right there, yeah. But I must say I was very, very impressed with the Newcastle's setup. He changed it, which a lot of people were saying, wow, why would you change it against Arsenal? That could, like, if you come unstuck, it would have been a big thing. But they kept another clean sheet. I must say, kept another clean sheet. And how do you feel that game is now going to go when we have to play them?
They're just on a wave at the moment, man. And
they can't be on a wave, bro. They got boxed up not too long ago. Remember?
I know.
Bournemouth
gave them a good slap. Then they lost to Fulham as well. This is all recent.
Yeah, all right.
This is all recent. and I mean very
But
recent.
look, I would love us to win that League Cup with the record holders of winning it. Another one would be fantastic. Um, because when that game comes, it comes close to the day. You're gonna want us to win that game.
Of
But
course.
I don't know. Something just tells me, I don't know, that Newcastle are due a trophy. Right. Like 70 years.
You know what tells you
70
that?
years.
You know what tells you that? Isak tells you that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Isak.
So I'm a little worried about it. I'm a little worried about it. I'll be honest with you. Everton,
You know
when we
what?
got them,
Yeah.
they're coming to a rich vein of form all of a sudden. They got rid of their
New
manager.
manager syndrome. New manager syndrome. Honeymoon period.
Yeah. So yeah.
And funny enough, we've got 2 games before we play them. We play tonight, then we play in the cup on the weekend, and then we got them.
Yeah.
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 So we got Plymouth on goal, isn't it? We got Plymouth on
As you know,
Saturday.
it's a derby. It's the last one at their ground. They are going to be up for it. They've now got a manager who's a good organizer, so they are going to be up for it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, it's going to game we could look forward to.
score predictions for. I'm not even going to ask you about the cup match because that's Plymouth. I'm going to ask you about that for the Merseyside derby. What is your score predictions for the Merseyside derby?
I think that's going to be a 1-1.
Wow.
I'm going 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay, Freds.
I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool. Okay. Well, my thoughts are this on it. I'm hoping that they are that confident that they do actually come at us, because I think that will be to their detriment. That is when we'll find the spaces. 'Cause as you know, and it's been a thing for a while that we struggle with the teams with the low block. So hopefully they got that a bit overconfident is what I'd like to say, and feel, yeah, you know what, we can, and they come at us. So yeah, bring it on. And I think we can get a result. Right.
What's your prediction?
Yeah.
So before we go, gentlemen, just quickly, very quickly before we go, what team do you start against Everton?
To be fair, I wouldn't go as far as saying this team that started the game tonight will probably be a team going forward.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right, cool. Vinny?
Yeah.
Same team.
Yeah.
Jim, same team.
Yeah.
Okay. And just to remember that, also, I'm going to quickly mention that Gomez is meant to be back now as well.
Okay.
And Trent's injury was a minor, and he will be back in time for that game as well. So
I wouldn't play Trent. I wouldn't play Trent in that game.
No, that's why I kiss my teeth too. You can relax, man. You can
The
relax.
only thing I'll say on that is that I think only now Bradley's starting to have that little bit more of a composure. But Bradley's still got that. He's young, and he's obviously got to. He's gonna work his way out of it. But he's still got that kind of rashness, and kind of gets overwhelmed slightly. And then when he gets a yellow card, he then slowly starts to settle down. When the actual there's times when he doesn't actually need to do it. But he's a young lad and he's learning the game. But I think playing Trent or Bradley, either way, I still believe that we'll be good enough to win the game.
So CW says 2-0 to us against Everton. Mark Foster says 5-0 Nunes all 5. Yeah. He's saying Nunes revenge for missing the sitters at Everton last week. Mark says same team, but Diaz in for Nunes. Okay. Interesting.
Did Jota come on today?
Yeah, right at the end.
He did. He came on for the last 10 minutes or so.
Okay. That's a positive as well. That's a positive.
Of course, yeah. We're all back. We're basically back to a full squad. There was actually a stat that this was the first January. Did he say, January or February, where Liverpool have come through now with basically all their players fit. Everybody back fit, basically. The stat I put out today, so yeah, it's a good stat. Gentlemen, I am going to say thank you very much. And my people in the chat room, thank you very much for staying with us. Once again, it's been a pleasure. It's been a blast. Vinny, thank you very much for stepping up and stepping in, my bro. BW. And people, look out for him. You must know, man. You see me in the comments. He's here basically every week, I must say. Thank you very much. Jimmy, the old China. 5 years.
It's like he's never been away.
The return of the Wanderer, as they say.
It was a blast, man. Enjoyed every minute of it as always.
Listen, brilliant to have you back, my brother. Brilliant to have you back, man.
Love you, bands, man.
And the mouth on a stick.
We beat the Spurs 4-0. We beat the Spurs 4-0. We beat the Spurs 4-0.
Show that top again. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. It's our very own Cop Talk merch, yeah? So you can see it there.
See?
Holler at us if you need one, yeah?
Yeah, I need to talk to you guys. I'll get one of them.
Oh, listen, we'll talk shortly. Thank you very much, people. Do remember, join us next week, same time, same place, 10 o'clock, each and every Thursday. It's all about Cop Talk on YouTube. Thank you very much.